Hello, everyone. This is a series of interviews with a few key speakers at JavaOne 2015 for the Java E track. My name is Reza Rahman. I'm the track lead for the Java E track this year. Today, I have with me Ivar Grimstad. He is a fairly important part of the Java E community these days. For the most part, let him introduce himself. He is a exclusive member for a couple of JSRs in the JCP at the moment. So, Ivar, thank you very much for joining us today, first of all.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Okay. Could you tell us a bit about yourself, please?
Yes, my name is Ivar. I'm a Norwegian, and I work as a software architect at a consulting company in Sweden. And for the Java E part, I've been programming and using Java E ever since the beginning of 2000. I've been coding Java since '95, so I've been doing it all the way. And since last year, I also have been a part of the JCP expert groups for the JSR 371, which is MVC, and also for the JSR 375, which is Java E Security API. That has been an amazing experience to be part of the JSP as well.
And of course, you are a blogger and a speaker as well, and an open source hacker.
Yes. I also have a small blog. It's not updated that frequently, but once in a while. I actually have two blogs, but my personal one is one on agilejava.eu, and I also have one blog at my company. And I also have some open source projects on GitHub.
Okay, excellent. So, Ivar, we're going to talk about your JavaOne footprint, if you will. So you have two sessions. One is one of the Java E related very interesting open source projects that a few of our community members were very interested in, and it looked very interesting to me as well. And you're also talking with Alex for a BOF at JavaOne. So tell us about the first session, the conference session on Snoop. What is that about? What are you trying to present there?
Yeah, as you mentioned, the name of the project is Snoop, and I can give a little bit background about why did I call it Snoop. And basically, naming is always difficult, and I just thought of something that was kind of spying a little bit on your code, and you can say it's kind of snooping around a little bit. So that's where the name comes from. I don't know if it's a good name or anything, but that's what I thought when I named it. And what Snoop is actually a Java EE version of the Spring Cloud Eureka discovery service. And because I like the way you configure the Spring Boot application was just using @enable annotations. And I thought that this should be doable in Java EE as well. So my thought was to, when you have a microservice you want to register with your service registry, you should just do it by adding a simple annotation @enable Snoop. And then it should register itself with the Snoop's discovery service and be available to look up for other services. So it should be very simple and non-intrusive in your code. And that is what I'm trying to achieve with Snoop.
Okay, so for those of folks out there that are not that familiar with what a discovery service is in terms of the microservices architecture, could you describe that a little bit more? What is the value of it? Why would you want to have that?
The value of having a discovery service is that your application that consumes these services doesn't actually really have to know where these services are and how many of them or which one you're actually calling, because it just looks up to this discovery service and say, hey, give me this, for example, user service. And the discovery service will look in its registry and see where do I have any user services, and then give the endpoint to it, and then the application can consume this service without actually knowing where it is. It only has to know about which service do I want and where is my discovery service. It's kind of like a phone book of services.
All right. So the next question I have for you is, what is the state of the project? Have you had a release yet? What's your roadmap for the project?
Yeah, actually, I released a version 1.2 just a couple of hours ago, and it's very simple. It's I wouldn't say it's production ready, but it's fairly stable and good enough to play around with. And that you can register a service, and you can discover a service, and you can list the services in the actual Snoop service. And it's available as a Docker image, so you can just run it with a simple Docker command. And I've published it on Docker Hub as well. Uh, what I've done the last couple of days is to kind of make the configuration files optional. So it's very flexible in terms of configuration, but you can use system variables or environment properties or this configuration file together with the annotations to configure where your services are and how to look them up. And my plan further on is to first of all make a nice UI for the Snoop service. And to do that, I think I'll use the MVC framework and build it on a nightly version of Glassfish to yeah, just to show that it's possible.
Okay. And
And
of course, it's runnable on any other platform on a Java.
absolutely, yeah, the version I've published on Docker Hub is using a wildfly image that is runs on. But the actual the services they can run everywhere.
Okay, excellent. So let's move on and talk about your next session.
Yeah.
And that's with the security, Java security API spec lead, Alex. And it's a BOF, is it not?
Yes, that is
And
yeah, that is a BOF that I'll be a co-speaker together with Alex. And what we want to do with that BOF is more or less to involve the community so we make sure that we get it right. Because Java security today is kind of sprinkled around in the specification and it's not very user-friendly from an application developer's perspective. So we just want to make sure that the community is with us on this one and that we actually get it right.
okay, so I
So it's
guess you're
really important buff, and I encourage everyone to attend it.
all right. So let's talk a little bit more about the security spec, if you don't mind. You said it's very, very important. And so what are the kind of things that are happening there? How is your working experience with the expert group so far? Obviously, you're working probably fairly closely with the lead. You guys are presenting together at JavaOne. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about the Java Security API for those people that are not necessarily aware of what it is, and also your experiences being a expert group member. I know that's pretty new for you, right? You've only done that just for E8 specs so far. So tell us a bit more about that, please.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that it's me sitting here being interviewed about this specification because there are so many really clever guys in this expert group, and they know everything about security and all the specifications that are present and around. So my kind of input to this expert group is that I want it to be easy for a non-security expert to understand how to configure application and create secure Java EE applications. You shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't have to be a security expert to do that. And you shouldn't be forced to know all the kind of specific, the hard security terminology. It should be easy to understand for the common application developer. That is kind of my input in this one, and I think most of or all of the expert group is going to be at JavaOne, and I think all of them are going to be at this session. And kind of the reason why I'm there is that I wasn't sure if any of my other sessions would be approved, and I would be going to JavaOne. I just have to convince my bosses by saying that, hey, I'm speaking, so then I can go. And so Alex put me up there. So, but I think it's a good thing that it's not only the security geeks talking. So it's going to be common developer language.
Okay, excellent. So I guess you're looking forward to JavaOne, and you said you've already looked at the session catalog, which is live now and almost populated, about 99.9% populated. So what are you looking forward to seeing at JavaOne? What are you looking forward to doing at JavaOne?
Yeah, this is actually my 13th JavaOne, so I'm pretty experienced JavaOne attendee. It's my second time talking there, and I would say that last year's JavaOne was especially good for me because then I really got a foot into the Java community and attended a lot of Java community stuff. So I'm looking forward to the community feeling of JavaOne. Even though it's such a large conference, it feels kind of intimate and kind of it's just a large community event. Regarding the sessions, I will mostly be going to the Java E racks or cloud server-side Java. But that is you pick things up, and I always like to go to some of the other sessions as well. And some of the JavaFX stuff is really cool, and so I just like to wander around and just get a feel for where are people going, and then I just kind of late where I go, but always have some that I want, and that is mostly Java E.
All right, excellent. So thank you very much again for taking some time to interview with us. So before we sign off today, any thoughts for the community? Anything that you'd like to say? Otherwise, of course, we'll be happy to see you at JavaOne, and hopefully you'll have some couple of great sessions and a few interesting sessions to check out.
Yeah, my only message to the community is that if you want to have some influence and want to do something, then join it, because it is an open community, and it's open for everybody to participate. So rather than complaining about things that aren't there, then you should just join the community and get it the way you want it.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.